Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Wow, Bitcoin moves faster into the direction of my overall target area here in yellow than expected. So that fake out, it was a fake out of this descending wedge to the upside. And obviously I showed you in the previous video and over the last few weeks and days here this wave 1 to the downside, and showed you that the wave has actually space. You could even say all the way up to the or down to the 35k level. Now it hovered just now around the 2.618 fib extension. That is absolute valid target for a wave 5. We could even get to the 300%, to the 35k level. That is the level that we've been talking about for a while for a possible target for that wave. Now it looked like yesterday, of course, as if that wave 1 was already complete. Now it doesn't look like that, and you know, I'm starting to think about maybe I need to rethink this and really need to think about, could this be something even more bearish? But I need some time for that, so I haven't had time to sit down today to really go through that. Need to think, is there maybe another wave count I can look at? Is there something that is even more bearish? But again, that would still confirm here my overall target. You know, this is on this channel what we do expect prices into the region between 20 and 29k. We've been talking about that since November, and so far I would say it has worked out pretty well. Yeah, we have been coming down pretty much since the end of November, closer and closer to the target area. I think there's really only Polygon, Matic and Polkadot from all the cryptos that I cover, including Bitcoin. So Polkadot, Matic and Bitcoin that have not yet reached their individual target areas. All the other cryptos have come into their target area. So from that point of view, I'm really happy. Basically, my work is done, and we now have to wait. How far are these target areas maxed out, and when can we really reverse? Now, for Bitcoin, unfortunately, the target area is not reached yet. Still think, without a doubt, that is going to happen. It's all about probabilities as well, so bear that in mind. There's never a guarantee in these markets, but this is still my view that we're going to get into this area. And personally, I'm happy about every price drop at the moment, because it just confirms my overall picture here, my overall view. I mean, I've been criticized about this bearish view for a while. I mean, now people see that we are getting into these target areas finally for the altcoins. The downtrend wasn't over. It's still not over yet, in my opinion. And here for Bitcoin, we're also getting closer and closer again. Yeah, when everybody got super bullish, I remained here very consistent, and I think this is playing out. You know, we're getting now back to 36.2, but I must also say that this move down came as a surprise, because it looked really like that this was going to go higher and that this could be a bullish flag. I mean, that is what you have to expect, right? You move out of a descending wedge that was bullish. It, from a wave count point of view, that matched. You know, it could have been the completion. You'll never really know if it is the completion. Again, it's also only probabilities. We started to move higher here. We broke out of the wedge. We made a bull flag, but then it just crashed down, didn't it? But for that point of view, for that purpose, I told you also in the last video that really we need to get above 40.8k to have a chance to move into this target area, because until then you're only making lower highs here from that point of view. Yeah, disregarding that small one here. But overall, you can see we came down, lower lows, low highs, lower highs, lower highs. Yeah, and the 40.8k level here was a very critical one also structurally. Obviously, we haven't got to that. So from that point of view, it was not yet really confirmed that we move higher. It looked like that, but these are the levels that we need to get above. That is why, for that purpose, I had the very red resistance box here on the chart. And for everybody, what you need to understand, we are in an overall downtrend. Yeah, we are in an overall downtrend. I always get a few comments of people who go long, don't use a stop loss, probably with leverage, and then complain because I said probably prices will go up. So first of all, this is only probabilities. There's never a guarantee in this market. Second, if you don't use a stop loss, then it's like driving without a seatbelt. Yeah, it's like, I'm from an engineering background, so it's like welding without a face shield. It's stuff you just don't do, right? If you go and speculate for a short-term uptrend and you're not willing to hold if prices go drop in, you know, because they can obviously always drop, then if you don't use a stop loss, it's just the basics, right? I often don't use a stop loss, but that is because I buy for the long term. You know, I'm not, generally because of tax reasons as well, not willing necessarily to always just buy and sell the next peak. There's various reasons for that. But then I often don't use a stop loss, yeah, because I believe in Bitcoin, for example, yeah. But if you do a short-term trade, then I would always use a stop loss if it's for a short-term trade. It's just the basics. And personally, when I set a stop loss, I would never risk more than 2 to 3% of my money. That is just how it is. And that's basically the basics of trading. Therefore, I am working on my trading course. You can already access the first 2 to 3 chapters on my website if you sign up for it. It's only a one-off charge anyway, but I work really hard to try to train people about that and educate, because this is really the basics, especially if you do something like trading long, going long, maybe even with leverage, yeah, against a trend, because we are in a downtrend. I've been saying that for so long. We are in an overall downtrend, and if you go long in a downtrend, yeah, then you are trading long a corrective wave, and the corrective wave is always difficult to trade, because it is, especially if you go long, yeah, this is a corrective wave up that I expected, that I still expect, but probably now a bit later, which overall makes this target area look quite bullish in the end, because in the end, how far we are coming down here at the moment in a first wave, that extends everything down, I have to say. But overall, you're trading against the trend, and it is a little bit like shorting in an uptrend. Yeah, it's stuff that you can do, but it's just know what you're doing if you do it, and you need to use a stop loss. So from that point of view, it's all about probabilities, and please don't just trade because of my TA. Come to your own conclusions, learn it. Yeah, I can only in these videos I can only give you my a momentary snapshot of the chart. You know, of course, when you really do trading, you don't use a stop loss. What you need to do, you need to watch the chart at the latest, and that's why I mentioned these levels as well. At the latest, when we dropped below 39.2, that was it. Yeah, that's why I mentioned this level, 39.2. We need to hold and retest. Obviously, didn't retest it. Therefore, you can't say that didn't work. Of course it works, but you need to retest. You need to wait for these signals. If that doesn't work, that's why I call these levels out. 39.2. We need to hold it. Ideally, you retest it. If we don't retest it, of course we fall through. And I said it will be really bad if we then drop back into the wedge, and that happened. So these are the things I try to give you a clue. Watch the charts when you do trading, and if you then see a certain level break, that obviously increases the probability that, you know, it's not going to work out to the upside. And also that resistance level. So I saw a very nice comment from someone who posted today, listen to everything that he says, because you can't just take a snippet from that video and say, all right, he said it's going to go up. Well, if my view is my primary expectation is going to go up, that is still my view, but obviously this will now be a bit later. This wave one is probably not yet complete. Maybe it's complete now. It's just too early to say now. And I need to think about, maybe this was not even bearish enough what I had on the chart here. Yeah, listen to the whole video, and then also, that's why I call these levels out, support and resistance levels, because obviously if they get broken, I'm not always there to make a video about an update. Yeah, that is why I tell you, if certain levels get broken, then you're gonna go down, or a certain scenario gets invalidated. I think that is very useful information, and I really try to educate here. Yeah, but what is showing here is that it is probably even more bearish than I thought it would be, because if this all is here now still a wave one, then what that means is also in a wave two, we're not going to get that high anymore, because what you always have to do, you have to take those Fibonacci levels, and that whole area will now wander down a little bit. Yeah, it will now go into the region between 42.1 all the way up to 45 and 45.6k. So we can adjust that, but that is now assuming that this wave is now finished. We need to see how the market is now reacting to that. What is not looking good is that we're now below this descending wedge. Well, I'm saying it's not looking good. Actually, it is looking good, because on this channel we are expecting lower prices. One very, very important support level is the 34.4k level. That is that wave down here, that support level here. And if we lose that, then there's really only the 33k level left. before we are really have a good chance to get into the target area. And the faster we drop now, this is obviously, if we don't get this corrective move up, then all of this sell-off is even happening faster than I thought. And this is in the end what we're waiting for. In my opinion, the faster we get this sell-off done, the better. Yeah, the better. And please, please, please don't just speculate for short-term uptrends in a market that has a lot of downward pressure. In the last few weeks, I've explained so often that in my view, we have so much downward pressure in this market. If you decide to go long here for a short-term trade, which is against the higher level trend, then please, please use a stop loss. That is very, very important. And stop loss will be one chapter in, or at least a larger section in my trading course that I'm currently working on and uploading chapter by chapter to the website morecryptoonline.com. So yeah, certainly interesting. I like the volatility in the market. And again, if you use a stop loss, you don't need to get frustrated, because yes, you lose your 2 to 3% maybe, but that's it. And then you wait for the next entry. And if you manage these basics, then yeah, there is nothing to worry about really, right? If you manage the basics, and yeah, that's really all I can say, right? It is, in the end, I can't tell you when to go long, when to go short. It all depends on your own strategy and everything, but I can help you to understand the chart and to bring across my own view of the chart. And I believe for what we are doing now here, this overall trend, when many people got super, super bullish again, I mean, many people still say the low was already in for Bitcoin. If the low was already in, we are coming down too much for that. We're coming down so impulsively. I can't see it. I still can't see it. And it seems like we are further away from that than in the last few weeks, especially as we still are below this bearish flag. We are below this head and shoulders, just from a traditional TA point of view, yeah. And we are also below the 200-day moving average. We are below the 1-year moving average. There's so much. And then this impulsive move today again just confirms my overall perspective that we are going to get into this yellow target area. So if in the short term here there is a bit of unexpected volatility, or the price moves in a different direction than indicated or than expected, even though this here is still very much in this scenario for the wave one, yeah, we talked about these Fibonacci extension levels, and we are still within the possibility of this wave one. But even if it moves into a different direction, this does not change anything of the overall target here. And when we get into this area, then I expect here the turnaround, with the view that if we drop, however, below the 61.8% Fib level, which is around 27K, then yeah, we could drop even further, maybe even max out that target area. And the further we make the progress in the chart here, and the lower we get, the more we can then calculate where that target area is. And I need to take a closer look at this wave count now here. As I said, it is even more bearish than even I thought. Then what we need to do, we really need to correct this even further down, and have to think about the possibility that we might even drop below 20K. Okay, so hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, check out the channel membership, and maybe even check out the trading course on my website. And I publish 1 chapter per week, and the charge that you can see on the website is just a one-off. Yeah, because I had a few people who asked me, is this per month or is it a one-off? Of course it's of course it's a one-off, and I believe it's a really, really good price for a trading course that will have 15 chapters. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.